Okay, this is day 362. I think this is going to be 4. So if the folks over here, right here in the Congress, they are throwing a few roadblocks in our way. One of them is going to be related to this idea of what's called the speech and debate clause. What they mean by that is anything that they talk about over there legislatively is protected by something called the speech and debate clause. Meaning it's privileged. You can't sue for it. You can't bring a lawsuit for anything that's said on the floor of the Congress. You can't, and it was later extended to the legislative assistants and the legislative directors. So that means you can't sue those guys for that information. Now, what I was saying is that the discussions between Imran and his access to that information had nothing to do with legislative affairs. Nothing whatsoever. As a matter of fact, his job was just to make sure accounts got set up and passwords got changed if somebody forgot their password. So I don't believe he's protected, but let's say he is protected. Then the other objection was, well, you have to sign a privacy waiver. Every time you make a legislative inquiry, it's called a legislative inquiry, you have to sign a privacy waiver, meaning that you give up your rights to privacy, so you can't sue on a breach of privacy. Well, okay, they might have stopped us there twice, but what do we do then? Well, it's not that far to certiorari. It's not that far to certiorari. If the Supreme Court would not have jurisdiction when a mother sends an inquiry into her congressman that says, I'm worried about my son, or I'm worried about my daughter because I think they might have become a drug addict overseas and serving as a service person, or they might have depression from PTSD. That's very sensitive information. Now, if they have blocked me, if they've blocked me successfully with their little machinations, well, that's okay, because I'll just go across the street for the writ of certiorari. It's not a long way to certiorari or certiorari. A writ of certiorari is what you need to give to the Supreme Court to be heard, a case to be heard in the Supreme Court. But they do have original jurisdiction in several matters. One